This is Kelley Hobart from Alpaca Direct, and I'm here on Technique Tuesday, and I am going to be talking about how I finished up my Night Shift Shawl. Actually, I haven't quite bound off the whole thing yet, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the bind off. So I kind of left it so that we can work on it together. And so just to start, I am using the Night Shift Shawl pattern by Andrea Mowry. And I love her patterns. She is very a trendy designer now, and she likes to use techniques that are fairly easy to use. And for instance, we have this upcoming class, and it is called the Rudbeckia hat. And it is on, I'm looking at the wall over there, it's May 18th and June 8th for our local customers if they wanted to join in and learn how to do brioche. And so that's a class that's coming up. But what I like about what she did is when you're knitting this hat, you don't have to worry about doing increases or decreases at the top of the hat because she does them in the knit section. And so it's totally awesome. So you get a chance to do brioche without doing decreases. So she does that sort of thing on a lot of her patterns. She'll take the difficulty out of it and she makes it super fun. And her finished projects are usually extremely beautiful. And I really enjoy knitting her patterns because they're clear and concise and they're just really nice. And so as we're going along, let us know where you're from and maybe what you're working on. I get ideas from all of you out there. I wanted to thank our VIP customers for all the effort they put into sharing with each other and helping each other. I know I looked at the Night Shift Shawl that Debbie Doctor did. She had finished hers, and that's what inspired me to finish mine because, you know, a lot of times I'll be doing knitting and I have to stop to work on a different project. So I'll have to put something aside to be able to work on the next project. And so getting back to those unfinished projects can be a little bit difficult. But when you get inspired by people like Debbie Doctor, then I was encouraged to go back and finish knitting mine. Instead of saying, oh my goodness, I just need to finish this, I picked that up and said, this is an opportunity to really enjoy the rest of my knitting. And so I had a good time doing it and watching the colors stripe. And so I wanted to talk about the different issues that I went and as I went along, things that I found and maybe things that might help you out as you're knitting your Night Shift Shawl. So, and if any of you out there have any questions or they have comments, there are a lot of you that are following along in knitting projects as I'm knitting mine. So if you have found useful little tips, please include them in the comments. And not only that, as we're going along, every single week we have a prize for our customers who are joining in on our Technique Tuesday. And this last week, Jim, didn't we had a darker pink and a lighter pink, and our customers chose this for the last week's prize.
What is it?
This is 100% baby alpaca worsted weight yarn by Plymouth Yarn Company, and it's super, super soft and it'll be super warm as well. So that was the color that was chosen for this last week. And for this week, I'm giving a skein of the Stark 6 away. And this is what I knit my shawl out of, not the exact colorway. And so if you want to help us choose, all of you who are helping us choose if you like the blue, choose that one, or the green, whichever one you like. And then we will give that away next week. Whatever the most of you enjoyed, whichever color you enjoyed most is the one that we will give to our prize winner. So that is the prize for this week. And I chose, originally, I don't know if you saw the first of our Technique Tuesdays on the Night Shift Shawl with Andrea Mowry, but I was trying to, my goal for the Night Shift Shawl was to go ahead and knit that shawl, but maybe have it a little bit less expensive. Andrea Mowry has this wonderful yarn. It's called Spin Cycle Dream State, and it is $180 for the shawl. And I thought, wow, if I could figure out a way to make it still beautiful, but have it be a little bit less expensive, then I was going to try to do that. And I found this Stark 6, and this is like sport weight. It's not exactly the same weight as the Spin Cycle Dream State, but it is close enough that it works just fine. You just may have to do one more repeat in the pattern, and but other than that, it works great. And then, so on the pattern, on page 5 of the pattern, it'll say yarn A or yarn B. So originally what I was doing is using this for A, for instance, and then the solid colors would be my B that would change. So I would have this is A and this is B, and then I would go through, the repeat is 40 rows. So you do 40 rows, and then you would change, you'd keep your A, and then change another color. So, and what that did is recessed it, it looked like this section right here. Okay, all the way up to here. So then I found as my project was getting more and more stitches, the stripes on it were getting narrower and narrower. And I liked it okay, but I figured I would try and change it up a little bit. So I thought, well, maybe what I'll do is I'll go, this is A and this is B, and then after I get through 40 rows, this is A and this is B. So I have one of them's at the forefront and then it goes into the background, and then the other one's in the forefront and goes into the background. So it would be something like, well, this one right here, this was in the background. So the green, this color is in the front, and then this color is now in the front, and this is in the background. So it switches. It goes from the multicolor forefront, multicolor background, multicolor forefront, multicolor background, etc. So that's kind of how it goes. But what I love about using this Stark 6 to knit the project is because this strand stays continuous all the way up the whole shawl, you have half as many ends to weave in. Isn't that awesome? It's totally awesome. I don't mind doing finish work, but when I don't have to, that's glorious. So if you use this Stark 6 to do the Night Shift Shawl, then you have half the ends to weave in, which is totally fantastic.
There was a question, how much was it to using that yarn?
So what I did with mine, and you'll notice mine are not the perfect colors, I was using, all my background yarns were leftovers that I had in stash. So this is right around the $30 range, or 31 or something like that, 32, whatever. So basically my Night Shift shawl cost me $32, and I still have this much left. And I'm just using odds and ends. But I don't know, if I look back at it again, I might want to take these Ultra Alpaca Light, because these are, what are they, the $7, $8 range, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know how many, I think it's five of these or so. $35 for the Ultra Alpaca Light if you chose all the colors, and then $31 for the Stark 6. So it's like $60 to $70 instead of $180. So you save yourself $100 by doing it this way, and you only have to do one more repeat. And so it is a really economical way to do it. And this Ultra Alpaca Light is 50% alpaca, 50% wool. And it's a really nice yarn, super warm and nice. The only thing I would say with the Night Shift, as when you're doing other slip stitch patterns or mosaic knitting, make sure your needle is not too small, because it can become dense. Any place that you're using a bunch of slip stitches, the fabric gets more dense. So just make sure to use a large enough needle. And then when I did mine, I wanted to show you, this has a wonderful Icord Bind Off. So you know how when we bind off, sometimes we say bind off really loosely, right? Well, with this Icord, look right here. I bound off some really loosely for you can see what it looks like. It looks sloppy. Do you see that? Don't do it. What I would say is, if you're gonna do an Icord bind off, do it at the normal, tension of your knitting. And if you're afraid that it's gonna suck your work in, because sometimes Icord can pull in, add a few stitches right before you get to your bind off, and you can have that Icord not pull in at all. I would say for every 10 stitches, add 1 stitch. And then do your I-cord bind off, and you will have an I-cord that looks neat, very neat, because you have it right at the gauge that you're knitting at. And then it's not sucked in at all because you added a few stitches, like 10%. So, food for thought. If that works for you, and if you'd like to try that, I've done that before and had great success with it. So I wanted to show you how I actually do my I-cord bind off. Sure.
Oh, there's a bunch of people are saying hi.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
In different places.
And as we're going along, make sure to post comments in your comment section so you can learn. You can be entered to win our prize for today, which is skein this beautiful Stark 6. And if you wanted to do the Night Shift Shawl, you could use this Stark 6 to do it. I highly recommend it. It's a lovely, lovely yarn. And the price was fantastic. Yes, Jim? And
there was the other, you told me to remind you about the announcement for the new product.
Oh, right. Yes. We are going to be opening a knit club. And it is going to have some really nice patterns that are new patterns just for you. And from our favorite designers. And it has lovely yarn. It's all yarn that I use and have tested and enjoy. So it'll be beautiful yarns. And we may have some hand-dyed ones that are special for Alpaca Direct. And you can, if you decide to join the club and you say you want to pause it for a month, that can be done really easily online just with a click of a button, right, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
So you
cancel
can put your
too.
membership on hold or change it, do all of it on your own very easily. No problem at all. So we're very excited to announce this knit club, and we will have little goodies in there for you and projects that you don't have to worry about. They're worry-free, and you'll be able to get them in the mail and get started on them. So we're really excited about that. When does that start, Jim?
Today.
Oh, starts today. Awesome. That's fantastic. So all of you out there that are interested in a knit club, you take a look at that at Alpaca Direct. And we're very excited to have all of you take a look at that, and hopefully you'll enjoy it because we put a fair amount of work into it, so we're excited about it.
And they get the free shipping coupon too.
Yes, you get all different kinds of little goodies. So take a look at that, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So.
Oh, Kathleen said she's going to post a link to it.
Oh, good. Oh, hi, Kathleen. Good morning. I think Kathleen is coming to our staff meeting today, and we don't get to see her all the time. And she is the one that posts comments in the comment section, and she helps us with blogs, and she does so much work for us. And if you have seen a lot of posts online, probably some of them are from her. So good morning, Kathleen. I'm glad you're here with us. And anyways, so we're really excited about the knit club. So please do take a look at that at Alpaca Direct.
And we're just going to limit it. So, because remember Ruthie said we don't want too many people right now, so we're going to limit it and then just have people on a wait list after.
Right. Until we get everything running really smoothly, we will be limiting how many people are in the club. So if you are interested in that, take a look at it. So we're really excited. Anyways, okay, so back to this Night Shift Shawl. So I was going to show you on this I-cord, I wanted to point out another thing. Did you see how she did her, the I-cord bind off with 2 different colors? Isn't that cool? I got to show you how to do this. So let me just take this over here, and I'll come over to my chair. Okay, Jim? This is really fun. I-cord bind offs are really beautiful, and they make a nice rolled edge, and it's a great way to finish a shawl off. So let me just show you how she did it. It's the same exact I-cord that you would see anywhere else, except for if you have your multicolor and you've done that color, then you just push that one to the back, and then you'd bring your other color around. One second, I've got to find my other needle here, and then you would go knit 1, 2, and then of course we knit 2 together through the back loop. Oops.
So what are you showing here again?
It's an Icord Bind Off, and it's using 2 different colors of yarn. And then we flip those 3 stitches back to the left-hand needle, and this is what Andrea Mowry asked you to bind off with when you're doing the Night Shift Shawl pattern. So I thought it was really cool. So did you see how I'm just picking up the new yarn? And you could do this at home if you're doing a couple different colors. You would just go knit 2 and then knit 2 together through the back loop. And then you just flip that back onto the left-hand needle, and you proceed along, and that's what it looks like. Isn't that cool? It gets a really nice finished edge on both sides. So I wanted to show that to you today. That's really cool. I love that. I'm going to be using that for different things. I always am using different colors of yarns. And Andrea always comes up with little tiny different techniques to use that I have never seen before. I mean, just really original ideas that are super simple. So I love her patterns. And if you have never seen Andrea Mowry, this is what she looks like. That's her in her Night Shift Shawl. And so that's what we're talking about today. So it's totally fantastic. And let me just bring this back over here. So
and we have the pattern on our site too.
Right? Yes, we do have it on our website. And this one, I haven't blocked it yet. It still needs a little bit of blocking and work. But I think it's going to be super nice. And I really enjoyed knitting this pattern. If you have never done mosaic knitting, it does take a little longer. Remember, Jim, when I was knitting it, I knit like 8 rows, and I showed Jim, I said, how many rows do you think are here? And he said, oh, 2 or 3. I'm like, nope, 8. So don't expect it to be a really quick knit, but it was a fun knit, and not a complicated knit, just a time-consuming knit. So if you want something that is enjoyable and will take a while, you got it. This is the project for you. So let's take a look at our prizes for this week again. We're going to be voting on, do we want blue or green? And this is in Stark 6, Zauberball Stark 6. And it is a sport weight yarn, and I highly recommend it for the Night Shift Shawl. It makes a beautiful shawl that is less expensive.
What is it made of?
This one is made out of wool. It is made out of wool. And let's see what it says if there's other tags on here. It's by Shoppa Wool. And, well, I can't really read that. 1 second. See if it is, well, I think isn't it made in Germany, Jim?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it just has, see, it's all in a different
German
language. Yeah, if I could read that language, it would be helpful. But I can tell you, Zauberball is a wonderful product. Stark 6 is fantastic. Really top of the line. The way they do their color changes and the long color changes are kind of hard to find. There are not a whole lot of yarns out there that have those really long color changes, which makes it perfect for the Night Shift Shawl. So that is a fantastic yarn for that. And once again, I wanted to make sure and thank Peggy Mowry, Debbie Doctor, and all of those VIP group members that are sharing with each other. They had beautiful projects, whether it's Night Shift Shawl or making a beautiful shawl out of unisono and German short rows. Oh my gosh, Peggy Mowry did a great job on her German short rows with that, the unisono yarn. It's one of my favorites. I love that yarn. So it's really nice to be able to see all those projects that are out there. I'm trying to look and see what else I had here. We will have a blog post that'll talk about my colors more, so that if you need to refer back to the color chart, you'll be able to do that. I'm going to put it right in my notes, and I'll have Kathleen post that for you. So if any of you are confused about what order I did my yarns, so that you can make those yarn, the Stark 6, either recede to the background or come to the front, you'll know how to do it. And all of you out there, as you're going along, if you can let us know what you're working on, maybe where you're from. How about what the weather is outside? It's beautiful outside. I think tomorrow, isn't it going to get up to 80 degrees, Jim?
Yeah, 20 degrees above normal.
Oh yes, it's beautiful outside. And we took out our motorcycles on the weekend, and I have a Harley. I'm not really a Harley girl, but I have a Harley trike, and I have so much fun with it. I used to have a BMW, and I was, I don't know, a little fearful with it, right, Jim?
Yeah.
So I bought a trike instead, and it is awesome. You know what's neat about the trike is that the Harley trikes have a big trunk. So I can go shopping and fit everything in the trunk. It's pretty cool. Anyways, I really like it. And it has almost like road tires, right, Jim?
Yeah.
So it is really great and smooth and easy to ride, and
You don't tip over.
Don't tip over. You don't have to worry about putting your feet down. It's so easy to ride. It's kind of like driving a car, I think. So, but it's really fun. Anyways, let's see what we've got here. We should talk about our last week winner for our baby alpaca. So this pink yarn was the yarn that everyone chose, and it's 100% baby alpaca yarn.
But it was really close.
Yarn Company. It was very, very close. And it's Brindy Hellinger. Congratulations, Brindy. You are the winner of this lovely yarn. All you have to do is contact Alpaca Direct and give us your address, and we can get that out in the mail to you. So you contact us, and you'll get to try this lovely yarn.
Who is it again?
Brindy Hellinger.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations, Brindy. You're a winner. Thank you for participating in our Technique Tuesday. That's awesome. And for this week, don't forget, all of you out there, please help us choose between the blue and the green, and we can give the prize next week to one lucky winner. And the summary, okay, so when you have these projects that you don't finish, look at them. Sometimes we're like, oh dear Lord, we need to finish that project. I would challenge you to say, instead of saying that, say, I get to enjoy this project again, and I am going to enjoy the journey, and I'm actually gonna slow down and have fun doing that project that I never finished, and then be so proud of myself when I actually finish it. So finishing projects can be wonderful. It can be a relief because you get one less thing that's in your basket that needs to be done, and you get to wear something that's lovely, or you can give it as a gift and be proud that you had finished that and you were able to do such a lovely project. So always put your best foot forward in these projects when we're doing them. And the thing for me is when I'm knitting and it's getting summer and warm outside, I bring my projects with me. Do you know I have been known to knit in Costco? Right, Jim?
Yep.
It's like, okay, so I know I probably told you guys this before, but it used to be when my husband would go with me shopping and I would have to wait for him, I would look at my clock and say, what time is it, right? Oh my goodness, he's been in the store for a half an hour. He's driving me crazy. When is he coming back? Now I don't do that. I bring my knitting with me and I sit in the car and he comes back so quick. I hardly had noticed that he was gone, and that's because I'm knitting. And matter of fact, if he had taken a little longer, I really don't care because I'm doing something that I enjoy. So all of you out there, make sure to enjoy your knitting as much as I do, and try and do something new. Try and stretch your mind a little bit and do something that's a little bit of a challenge, or maybe try some colors that you had never tried before, or some techniques that you had never tried before. It's totally fun when you challenge yourself and you actually succeed and do a great job at it. So you guys have a great week. This next week, I haven't actually chosen my project for this next week. I am still working on my crocheted slippers, trying to get the pattern just right. See, what I'm trying to do is probably what I tell you not to do. Don't stress over it so much. Enjoy your projects, right? But I am looking for crocheted slippers that are so easy, that have, you know, that are super beginning slippers that actually look fantastic. So I'm working on that, and when I get them done, I will let you know. But I know that I'm gonna be doing a project for this next week that'll be something fun that I can use this summer.
And on Sunday, it's Mother's Day too.
Yes. Oh, and happy Mother's Day to all of those mothers out there. Congratulations. I'm sure that you loved your little ones as much as I love mine. Mine are all grown up, and I still think of my babies. They probably hate hearing me say that, but they will forever be my children, and I love them very, very much. So you guys have a very happy Mother's Day out there, and I will be talking to you next Tuesday, where we will be talking about a summer project that I can use right away. So you take care.